Right then, another A5 video. If you watched the last one, we took it to have the gearbox sorted, put a new mechatronics in there and recoded it. Now it's behaving, we can get on to making it better basically, because I think it's been about 18 months, not quite 18, about 14 months, 15 months, something like that, since we last did anything really tuning wise on this. We've just been driving it, using it, but we want it to be better. So if you look at the dyno, you can see the 395 and the 580 foot-pounds, that is where we left it, I think it was like April last year, something like that. And then the 324 is exactly as we picked it up from the gearbox place. The same tune, but the problem we've got here is the gearbox has got a torque limiter in there that will limit us to that power. So what I wanted to do, all the problems always start when you start tuning these gearboxes, then the adaptations don't get done properly because you're on the dyno, you start playing and eventually you kill the clutches and stuff like that. So we try and stay away from tuning the gearbox until the engine's done and we can drive it steady after tuning it, get the adaptations, then ramp it up again. Or we do it first if we've got a tune ready. But anyway, so what we've done, I'll just get this graph up. If you look here now, we've bent all the torque limiters just so it allows us to have the full fuel, and now we're up at about 615 pounds of torque and 418 horsepower. But this little weird blip here is the fuel pressure just starting to drop, and it's getting a little bit warm as well. And then we've not got the revs, because this previously revved to like 5.1. We're only revving to 4.5 because we've not changed the shift points in the gearbox. So we're going to try and fix the shift points alone, see how that works out. Then if we can, we'll probably do the torque limiter, but we're going to have to take it off to do that anyway. We're going to have a car queued up. So we're not quite finished with this yet. We'll do a little bit of driving on the road, get it all set up, and we'll bring it back on the dyno. What we do next on this video, I'm not too sure, but we shall see. But progress at least. So finally, out in the A5. It's been a little bit since we did the last video. Been pretty busy, not even had a chance to drive it. So this is my first proper drive since we've got all the power. So it felt pretty quick before, but definitely not as quick as it could have been. And it's just decided to start raining. So whatever I'm gonna do is invalid. Nah, it's been fine all day, just as I get in car, it starts to rain. So anyway, but driving this normally feels absolutely mint. The turbo just spools perfect. You definitely notice this big turbo when it's a manual car, but when it's DSG, no problem. Same for the auto cars. We get asked all the time, what gearbox would I get if I got another one of these, or for a track car or whatever. We don't get many manual ones in, but I think if I were tracking this and wanting to do a lot with it, I think I'd probably get a manual again. If it were just for a road cruiser, I'd probably get a 6-speed auto rather than the 7-speed DSG, just because of the hassle that we've had. The DSG is definitely better than both of them, in every situation if it's working, but I just don't think you can guarantee it. Not in the older ones anyway. In the newer ones, they seem a lot better, but not in these earlier ones. Which these are not the earliest, so yeah. Because the auto really strong, the manual pretty strong, but the clutch will be the limit at some point, and you can only get a mild upgrade. But yeah, not sure. And in other news on this car, whether it's going to be a separate video or not, which it probably will be, we put the A6 and a few other cars up for sale, and then somebody came and said, a local guy, friend of Harry, who works here, and he's basically said he wants to buy this. So this is sold, and we've got good money for it. He's got a good deal. So we just got a few things we wanted to finish. We said we're not quite finished all those videos and stuff like that. There's a bit of bodywork we want to repair, so we're going to do that and get that sorted. And then that'll probably be the end of this, which I think this is at the spec I'd want to sell to people anyway. Anything beyond this is a bit too much, and I think if I'm going crazy on one of these, the V6, I'd probably go back to the older engine and a manual, just so we're not trying to tune two things at once. So when you're trying to get the engine and the gearbox to be work together, it can be a bit of a pain, especially when you're changing the spec all the time. It definitely doesn't help us. So yeah, waffling on. Let's get a little tickle and see what it sounds like. Yeah, that is not slow. Feels pretty good. I think pull over, try and get a launch. Absolutely no idea what's going to be best. Absolutely banging it down. So traction control off, so I got the launch control. So that were wet. Definitely got a bit of wheel spin. And that were a 4.5 to 60. So pretty good. Bit of a delay, not sure why, but that again, bit of tuning to get rid of all that. But I think you're turning the traction control off, and the wheels slipping, asking a lot of the gearbox. So we'll see. Definitely no point me doing that again in this weather. So I think this is a very low 4-second to 60 car if the conditions allow. That's fairly cold tyres and stuff like that. So yeah, quick, very very quick. I think Ash, who's bought this, will be like ridiculously happy with it. He's got a Golf diesel that we've tuned, GTD, so he knows his modified cars. That feels sweet. It's annoying when you're cruising in sport, but I want to punch it again, see what it sounds like. I think 415 or whatever it is, 418 horsepower, over 600 pounds of torque. It's like perfect daily driver spec. We'll probably take it to the body shop next, and that'll probably be the last video until we hand it over. Check there's nothing else I want to do. I don't think there's anything I want to do on it. We're loads of things we could do, but I think we're sort of at that stage now where we're not a lot of people are going to want to do it, but if Ash wants to take it further, we could put a bigger pump on and try and push things a little bit further with the turbo. Maybe try and get to 450s, but I think this is a good spec. We'll try and get on to, we might actually be able to do some things with the V12 if we get rid of some projects. So we shall see. Thank you.